Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and today we'll be doing a late review of The Evil Within. Yeah, I don't have a case for this one either. Little disclaimer before I get started, I did not complete this game, I could not bring myself to, and you'll see why by the end of this review. So first things first, I honestly have no idea what goes on in this story. It's really convoluted, and it's way too spread out throughout the game. You don't hit a lot of important stuff throughout. It's 15 chapters, each chapter takes quite a while, and you don't necessarily get anything story related in some of these chapters. Now the game starts with you, your partner, and some rookie detective heading into an insane asylum / hospital where there have been just a crap ton of murders. And since this is a horror game, some weird freaky stuff happens while you're there, and you find yourself battling for your life against some horrific monsters and such. You also find yourself more or less magically transported to different locations. They're kind of really standard in my opinion. You know, a spooky village, outlying area of the spooky village, nothing major there. The voice work in this game is not very good. And it really detracts from a game that already doesn't have a lot going for it in my opinion. It's a great example of how bad voice work can make a game worse. Now, as for the controls and gameplay, the controls, they work almost well enough to make you think that they're good, but they're not quite there. And in a game like this, it really hurts the game. It makes it really hard to play. The controls might work if this was like a Resident Evil remake with slow walking zombies, but these enemies are way too fast for how slow these controls are. Also, really importantly, it's missing a dodge function. And in a game like this, you need to be able to get the hell out of the way, especially when you start getting outnumbered by some of the faster enemies or some of the faster bosses. Now, where this game really suffers is creatively, because they clearly had two ideas that they wanted to merge, and it succeeds at neither of them. At first, this game tries to be a stealth / survival horror game, where you need to sneak about and kill the enemies, and like most survival horror games, there's very limited ammo and very limited healing items. And while that's normally not a bad thing, when the other idea that they were trying to merge in this game is basically Resident Evil 4, where you do a lot of shooting and kill a lot of enemies in a very not stealthy manner and in arena type situations. Limited ammo and limited healing is the death of you, really. There's some other elements that truly fail, like you're supposed to be able to light corpses on fire and that's supposed to ignite other enemies. And I had that work for me exactly twice. Yeah. The number of times it failed to work for me, on the other hand, I lost count of. Lighting a corpse on fire with 2 to 3 enemies standing on top of that corpse and not becoming engulfed in flames, yeah, that happened to me all the time. And why I bring that up is because it's one of the few things that's supposed to make this game a little easier and help you conserve ammo, but it doesn't work. There's also a leveling system in the game, which I found really didn't add much. You're supposed to be able to increase your stats with a gun and become more accurate, do more damage, stuff like that with it. I found it didn't matter at all. The reason it didn't matter is your guy's about as accurate as somebody who is blackout drunk. You can also upgrade your stamina so that you can sprint longer, but I found it didn't matter because he can run about as long as a 500-pound man. As for the graphics, they weren't that bad. They should have been better considering this was on the Xbox One and PS4. I specifically played on the Xbox One. I wasn't impressed by most character designs. I felt, though, that the monsters, they were good and creepy. I will say, however, while the monsters were good and creepy, they did just straight up rip off Silent Hill 2. They've got a guy who's got a safe on his head instead of a pyramid for a head. Just saying. Now, to wrap this up, it may seem like I am doing nothing but shitting upon this game, and I really am. And that's because I wanted to love this game. When I first heard about it, I was really excited because it looked like it was going to be the next Silent Hill, since Silent Hill hasn't even been Silent Hill lately. But I just couldn't love it. I had to hate it. Every time I died, I got to the point where I was just saying, I hate this game, I hate this game, I hate this game. So eventually, it just got to the point where I clearly wasn't gonna beat it, and I didn't, which is weird for me. What truly kills this game is the fact that it has no idea what the hell it wants to be or how to balance what it's trying to be. You're trying to make it Resident Evil 4, but include Resident Evil 1 type stuff, limited ammo and healing specifically, in a game that really needs a lot of ammo and a lot of healing items. And obviously, it suffers from that. To put it simply, this game is shit. It is not worth playing. I honestly regret playing it. I could have been playing Bloodborne instead of trying to beat this game. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, feel free to hit that like button, and if you like what I'm doing in general, please subscribe. Have a good day.